Show starts in 5 minutes.
No, that's not big enough. No, that's not big enough either. That's more like it. We're delighted to have you with us, and we extend a cordial welcome to you. We've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on our giant screen with the new, colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading about. To add to your enjoyment, we're all wound up to bowl you over at intermission time with live wire service at our snack bar, where you'll find a tempting variety of favorite foods and beverages. Your continued patronage is very, very welcome.
Hey, fellas, don't fight over that hot dog. There's plenty for everyone. Big, plump, and juicy, wrapped in an oven-fresh bun. Add mustard, relish, ketchup, and go to work. Yes, the hot dogs at our refreshment center are the best you'll find anywhere. Everybody agrees on that.
It's 4 minutes till showtime.
Yum, yum. It's time for a tasty and refreshing snack. We promise to satisfy your hunger, your thirst, your sweet tooth. So visit our refreshment center now. Let's go! Show starts in 3 minutes.
Your attention, please. All new Hotshot electric in-car heaters have been installed for your comfort and convenience. Just insert heater through car window and turn on the switch. When leaving, please turn switch off and replace on speaker post. Warning, high voltage. For your own safety, do not attempt to repair or remove wires. Do not attempt to open heater unit. If you need assistance, please notify the theater box office or concession manager.
It's 2 minutes till showtime.
Popcorn, candy, ooh, hot dog, popsicle. Oh boy, Santa orange.
Show starts in 1 minute.
There are words men live by, words of strength, of wisdom, and of peace. We urge you to find the spiritual comfort and guidance we all so greatly need by attending your place of worship regularly.
Here's a new taste treat. The corn dog. Plump, juicy wieners are dipped in a thick, golden Southern-style corn batter that seals in all their freshness and flavor. If you like hot dogs, you'll love corn dogs. Everybody does. Try a corn dog with your favorite beverage. At the refreshment corner now. Corn dogs.
Broadcasting live from beautiful Union City, New Jersey. This is your movie quiz for Wednesday, October 12th, 2022. Here we go. Hello and welcome to the movie quiz. I am your host, Chris Mann Nelson, and in just a few minutes, you and I will be embarking on a trivia odyssey together through 36 questions of film trivia, puzzles, all kinds of fun stuff. Tonight is the season premiere of season 9. It's our 9th season. Been going for over 2 years now. This is year 3 of this little endeavor. And tonight is the ground floor of season 9. Our theme tonight, in honor of our 9th season, our theme is long-running franchises. Every round will be about a different film franchise that has at least 9 entries in the film franchise. So you'll see which ones we're talking about as we get to it. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably have seen it already. You probably have a good handle on which five franchises we're going to be talking about. Before we get going with an interesting little surprise here too, take a look at this first question. If you are new to the game, or if you need a refresher from previous seasons, this season lasts 7 regular season games and an 8th game that's a finale. In those first 7 games, you can pick any game before the game starts. You can designate that to count double for your points for the season standings. I take your best scores over all your scores over the 7 games. Top 3 teams compete for gold, silver, and bronze in the finale. So if you think long-running franchises is your jam, double it up tonight. But be smart, because you won't get to do it again. Once you double up, you can't do it again. So tonight I was going to do the show solo because I thought the Yankee game, I did not check the schedule. I just assumed that last night was game 1 of the ALDS, that tonight would be game 2. It's not. So I was going to go solo. And then I also found out that one of our regular players is also playing solo tonight. His team is unavailable. So I figured, why not invite him on? He's never been on. He plays all the time. I've known this person quite literally my whole life. Please welcome host of the podcast, Hot Media, and also college professor, my dad, Bob Mann, is going to be joining me tonight, playing for the producers.
Chris, I feel a tremendous honor beating out no one as the guest on the show.
That is the
totally solo.
I've always said to you, Dad, if there's literally no one else available, then first I will opt to not have anybody, and then eventually get around to you. I say that.
You're also going to cancel the episode too, though, Chris. That was option number 2. Actually, I think I came in 3rd.
Right.
So
yeah.
I'm glad
those other ones, the other options fell through. So you are not. I see you are not doubling up tonight. You're playing by yourself.
No, because not only was I honored to beat out no one to be the guest here on the show tonight, but by the way, to my former student, Ryan Rolandelli, happy birthday, Ryan.
Happy birthday, Ryan.
Every time for the past,
he has so many
years.
He has so many birthdays.
And by the way, I just want to note that I finally did win once. And what did Calvin?
Yeah, you guys won last season.
I finally won once. And Calvin said, "Oh, the fix is in." So that was
now the fix is really in. Now that you're on the show, all right. So
no, I will not do well on my own.
Let's. That's all right. I think you're gonna do fine. So this game, if you want to play, if you're watching and you want to join in, this game is completely interactive. You head to this website that's scrolling down below, play.themoviequiz.com, sign up and join the game. A couple ground rules before we get started here. No cheating. Don't cheat. Don't look anything up. It's stupid. It's a waste of time. Don't do it. Number 2, don't put answers in the chat. If you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, come to that little magic URL scrolling down below and join us. Number 3, you can change your answer before time runs out. Just hit resubmit. Just resubmit it. And number 4, most importantly, don't forget to hit submit, even on multiple choice. We got a few multiple choice questions tonight. Make your selection, then hit submit. Otherwise, I will not get your answer. So, Dad, are you ready to get going into the game tonight?
I am. I just realized I was trying to cheat on IMDb, but I realized the webcam in my own house is on.
Did you let's clear the air right now because the tabloids are a buzz. Did you cheat that one time you won?
I did not. And it seems that the more I multitask, as I was watching, putting your son to bed as he was over here, I said, I'll never be able to pull this off. I did that and then won the game.
And then you're multitasking tonight because you're a guest. All right. So let's jump into our first round of the night. So we're talking all about these long running franchises. We're going to talk about a movie that's got 25 franchises got 25 movies or 26, depending on how you're counting, upwards of 27, because there's even the original Casino Royale. But we're focusing on the Bond farewells, the last hurrahs for each of the 6 actors to play James Bond. All right. So here we go into question number 1. It's a multiple choice right off the bat. Original Bond, Sean Connery, hung it up after his 5th movie, You Only Live Twice, which sees Bond thwarting a Spectre plot and unfortunately disguising himself as a local in what country? Your options are Mexico, Japan, Saudi Arabia. Mexico, Jamaica, Saudi Arabia, or Japan. You got those 4 options. Click it and hit submit. Now let's see. We got a handful of teams. I got 4 teams doubling up tonight. 4 teams going for it right off the bat. Now, Dad, you must have seen a bunch of these in the theater, right?
I saw them all in the theater, as we used to say in Brooklyn, at the Loews Kings. And it was actually to show the kind of media-centric childhood I had. My mother promised me for finishing a test in the 6th grade, she took me to see Goldfinger. Nice. So, yes, I'm not totally sure about this answer, but they all blend into one for me. Yeah. Well, I am their best ever in TMQ history.
They're kind of similar, but this one, the answer is Japan. The answer is Japan. And I'm going to preemptively cancel myself just for showing this terrible image of Sean Connery. That's Sean Connery pretending to be a Japanese man. This is awful. This is wow. This is an awful image. Yes. And hang on. Alex is saying that I should call you Bob Mann throughout the entire episode.
Yeah, it's fine. You can you may want to disown me by the end of the next 90 minutes, so you never know.
All right, so 55. At least he didn't dress up as Yaddle. Oh my God, yeah. If he was appropriating Yaddle culture, I will. All right, Yaddle. I'll make sure there's more Yaddle for the rest of the year. All right,
Chris, I did order on Amazon though. I did order a giant Shrek head, but I hope it gets here by the end of the 3rd round.
Yeah, you're gonna be for Yoni tonight too.
The bell should be ringing, so I'm hoping to time it.
All right, question number 2. What model actor, successor to Sir Sean, said hello and goodbye to 007 with his only film on Her Majesty's Secret Service? And as somebody pointed out on Twitter recently, for the first time ever, even in the book history of Bond, he is not on Her Majesty's Secret Service anymore. He does not work for a queen anymore.
That's right.
He works for a king. Monarchy. You saw this one in the theater even, Dad? Do you remember seeing this one?
No, I do not remember seeing this. I think that I did see Diamonds Are Forever in a theater.
Yeah,
but
don't say too much about any of them, but
yeah, right. Well, I did get that last one right, but
all right. Well, here he is. Here, hang on. What happened here? George Lazenby is your answer. George Lazenby he wasn't terrible. He wasn't that like he's not appalling as Bond, but he's just got like he's stiff. He was more of a model than an actor. All right, question number 3. Connery then came back for a curtain call with Diamonds Are Forever. That's why I was giving you the hush hush, which shifts the action to what American city? Los Angeles, Las Vegas, New York, or New Orleans? Which of these 3 American cities is featured in Diamonds Are Forever? Yeah, by this time you would have been like a older teen or a grown up, though, right? Diamonds Are Forever is like in the 70s.
It's in my key year of 1971 is my senior year of high school. Yeah. So I definitely
taking your prom date to Diamonds Are Forever. All right. So this one this was in my clues today. This was hopefully in one of my clues in my stories on Instagram. Hopefully it pointed you in the right direction. It is Vegas. Vegas is where Diamonds Are Forever takes place. They jump around. It's in, I think, Cairo and somewhere else, but then most of it's in Vegas. All right. Question number 4. Roger Moore's record-setting 6 Bond flicks ended with 1985's A View to a Kill, in which he squared off against Silicon Valley magnate Max Zorin, played by what oft-imitated New York actor? Looking for the name of the actor who played Max Zorin in 1985's A View to a Kill. See, I remember, I don't think we saw GoldenEye. Like, because I was too young for, like, Timothy Dalton and all those. I was a little kid when those came out. But then I think we rented GoldenEye on VHS. And then we started going to see them, all the other Pierce Brosnan ones.
Yeah, I remember VHS was a big part of all of this too.
We used to rent. We rented. I remember we caught up on all the, or I caught up on them with you. Right. We rented them from the local video store that wasn't Blockbuster, that got bought by somebody who was not interested in running a video store and kept like shoving all the tapes together, like into tinier and tinier aisles as the store slowly became a convenience store.
Yeah, it's the Snapple.
80% of answers correct here. Christopher Walken is your answer. He's Max Zorin here. He all the pictures I found too. He looks like Mads Mikkelsen in Casino Royale to me too. He's kind of got that look. But that was not a great Bond film. I don't like. Did you like any of the Roger Moore ones? I can never get into Roger Moore.
Well, you had a great point about Roger Moore's era, is that they would be exactly 2 years behind whatever was the film fad of the day. So in 1977, it's Star Wars. 79, it's Moonraker. And 73 is Live and Let Die. But then that was exactly 2 years after Blaxploitation hit.
Shaft is 70. Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, they just tried to get themselves.
They're just chasing trends. All right, question 5. During Moore's tenure, Connery returned again in Never Say Never Again, an unofficial sidequel that's really a remake of what 4th Connery movie? From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, Dr. No, or Thunderball? So this one was weird. It was like the Broccolis, their name is Broccoli, the producers of the vegetable, who own the James Bond film rights, but someone else owned the rights to this movie. So he could make this movie unofficially, like outside of the James Bond canon. And he just chose to remake Thunderball. I forget the name of the producer who was like, I'm going to remake Thunderball, but Sean Connery's going to be real old. Like, he was already getting old in Diamonds Are Forever. But then he looks great and awesome. What would it be, like 8 years later as Henry Jones Sr.? But because he transitioned into like an age appropriate role.
Yeah, that's one of those he looks good for his age kind of deal.
Yeah,
Which,
exactly.
it's not trying to be the young macho guy.
Right. He
Hey,
can't. Yeah, he's not like the sexy spy anymore. All right. Question number 6. Timothy Dalton's truncated 2-movie run ended with 1989's License to Kill, in which Bond seeks revenge for the death of what longtime CIA counterpart who was later resurrected by actor Jeffrey Wright. Just give me the name of a character on this one. You pop that answer right in, Dad? I feel like you know this. You got to know this one. Right?
I did.
You feeling good on this Bond category so far?
I am, but I've got 3 out of 5 so far, and I'm mad at myself on both of them. I got wrong on Diamonds Are Forever, which I was talking about, but it's because Dennis, my absent partner, wrote to me and he goes, "Oh, I'm convinced that this is Never Say Never Again." So he's actually cost me points.
He's spectrally getting it wrong. He's not even there to get it wrong.
Yeah. Right.
You gotta take the reins in that situation though. You're the one you're the solo captain of the ship here. All right. So this character who got killed again in No Time to Die is Felix Leiter. Felix Leiter. However you spell it is fine. All right, we got 2 more questions left in this Bond category, and we're covering all different franchises tonight. So if you don't know jack shit about James Bond, hopefully you know something else about some other long-running franchises. All right, question number 7. Pierce Brosnan's pretty bad 2002 swan song, Die Another Day, features a pretty bad acting cameo from what otherwise good singer of the film's pretty bad theme song. So who sang the theme song? It sucked. From Die Another Day, and this person is also in the movie. They have an acting cameo. And that also sucks. This person is not a bad actor either. There's stuff that I like this person in. Oh my goodness. I think we have a true social here. Everybody who submitted got this right. I think we've got 16 teams. So let's see if we got 100% here. It is Madonna. Oh, it's 80. I don't know. There's got to be a couple teams signed up that didn't play, but let's call it a social. Everybody who submitted got it right. It's Madonna. And also, true to my word, I made a promise that what this season's graphic would be. I don't know if you remember it, but we talked about Pierce Brosnan here finally in the James Bond category. So you have been Mamma Mia. I'm going to work Mamma Mia in. There he is. Pierce is down center screen right there. Mamma Mia is happening. It's coming your way. Yes, here we go again. It's gonna and for the rest of the season, I will say, here we go again. Every time that graphic comes up. Maureen's flipping out. Yeah, I'm true. I'm a man of my word. I said I would do Mamma Mia as the graphic, and I'm sticking to it. Was easy. It was a layup today. It was Pierce right there, low-hanging fruit. All right, question number 8. This is a massive spoiler alert if you haven't seen the last James Bond movie, but it's out for a year. You should have seen it already. Daniel Craig took 007 where no departing Bond has ever gone before, to the friggin' grave. They killed him. How did the spy go out in No Time to Die? Did he die by a cyanide capsule, a missile strike, a car crash, or a gunshot? How did they kill James Bond? And here, while you're looking at that, there's Madonna and Pierce in terror. Oh, so bad. There's so many bad decisions in that movie. That movie is baffling, honestly. But I remember my friend Mike and I, my old roommate, your former student, Dad, Mike P. We had said after Die Another Day was so bad in 2002, we were like, the best way to revive this franchise is to scrap it and go back. They've never made a real version of Casino Royale. They could go back and do it for real and start from scratch. And that's exactly what they did. And now I am a millionaire. All right.
No, it should be Mike, though. If it was Mike's
Why?
idea.
It was no. I think I was the driving force behind this
Oh, okay.
concept. All right. So if you've seen it, surely you remember that James Bond dies in a missile strike. He's got the weird nanobots in his blood, and he can't touch his family anymore, so he lets himself blow up. All right. Pretty stark ending to that film. Let's take a look at your scores and standings here after our first round of play. We've got Kathleen Turner, Overdrive War, the Turds with 4, Ringwoodians and the Club Sandwiches with 4. With 5 apiece, we got Sylvester Stallone. On Wednesdays, we wear pink, Avis and Bobo, and the producers. Nicely done, Dad. With 6 points apiece, we got We Own the City and Sterling Cooper, Roland Deli Betts. With 7 points apiece, we got a few teams. We got Nuance Neurons, How Am I Going to Be an Optimist, Blue Shells, and Team Nerds. And tied for first with perfect scores, perfect 8s across the board here. 4-way tie. Here we come. Beers for Fears, Marley's Chains, last season's champions, Marley's Chains. They are the team. They are the team to beat. They are the reigning champs. And Torshawn Ailment. I see. I don't know. Where is I know this is a Scandinavian city. Where is this? Oh my God. This is a good fact too here coming into the chat. Hang on. What's going on? Hang on. That Connery in Never Say Never Again was only 4 years older than Pierce was in Die Another Day. That is crazy. Also, this city is in the Faroe Islands. It's very impressive that you all keep finding Scandinavian cities to keep it going. All right. So, Dad, you feel good about that 5 out of 8? You're all right for that?
Yeah, I'm all right. I know I could have done better, and I'm in a self-loathing period right here. Over.
All right. So for our next round is don't shake it off. Don't loathe too hard. Loathe a little as a motivator, but not enough to cripple you. So our next round is the picture round, and our next franchise that we're talking about is the Muppets. We're going to be talking about the Muppets. It's your picture round, and it's called Who's That? Ignore the typo in the on the answer sheet. It's not what's that with the Muppets. It's who's that with the Muppets. So I'm going to show you a picture of a human actor in a Muppet movie with the Muppets, but I've erased their face. So you have to name the actor or pick them. Some of them are multiple choice. Some of them are short answer. All right. They will show up here on the live stream. They will also show up down there on your answer sheet embedded. All right. So here we go. Here is your first one. Name the human actor with these Muppets. I'm not naming for this one. I'm not naming the movie. So if I name the movie, it'll give it away immediately.
Chris, I have to really give compliments to all your guests over the past 2 years for being able to actually play the game and then say something while there's dead air.
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough to do.
How have most of the people who have been joining you as guests done in the show? I know in the live show, somebody actually won, even though they were the guest on the stage. But is that common, or do they tend to?
Well, yeah, I mean, for the live shows that we've done, I really kind of stacked the deck with some real experts in the topic. Right. But most people are middle of the pack. I'm actually probably gonna tonight. I want you to play because you're a regular player who's just jumping over to this side. But I think I'm gonna have them more co-host with me going forward, so they don't have to think. They don't have to think so much. All right, so this is a Muppet Christmas Carol. Hopefully, you can see that, and that is Michael Caine. It's Michael Caine. There he is. He's amazing in this movie. He does a great job,
and he didn't blink.
He did not blink. He did not blink.
Biggest acting tip: don't blink.
All right, here comes question number 2. You got a multiple choice here. Name the human actor in the Muppets Take Manhattan. She's opposite Miss Piggy here. Is it Lily Tomlin, Betty White, Carol Burnett, or Joan Rivers? Timer's starting.
It can't be easy to act with Muppets. but they were there in
I
person.
feel like I don't know. I
CGI
feel like it would be. They're so expressive. They're and the
That's true.
puppeteering is so good. I feel like I don't know. I think I've heard like Mark Hamill. I know Yoda's not technically a Muppet, but he was.
Frank
Was
Oz.
Muppet. Was Yoda designed by Jim Henson Studios? Somebody tell me. Somebody answer that for me. All right, almost everybody got this. I think the shape of the face was a good one. A good help for this. Most teams knew that was Joan Rivers. That's Joan Rivers there working at a makeup counter with Miss Piggy in the Muppets Take Manhattan. All right. 85% of teams got that one right. Nice work. All right. We're back to fill in the blank here. Short answer. Name this human actor in Muppets from Space. And I left a part of the face there, a telltale part of the face. Maybe. Hopefully.
What is he holding?
He's holding Rizzo. He's actually he's holding Rizzo the rat there.
Oh, by his tail. I see it now.
At first I was like, oh, this picture doesn't actually have a Muppet in it. And then I realized, no, he's got Rizzo there. Hang on. What's going on?
I think I've been thrown off by the beard, and I'm guessing based on the beard instead of trying to figure out the person's looks.
It's Guy Fieri. Yeah, don't question from Ryan. How long did it take me to erase the faces? Not that long. I just I use the pen tool in Photoshop and just cut out the faces. Not too bad. Honestly. All right. So this one, look at the bandana. This was during this person's bandana era. I feel like he got heavy into bandanas, probably as his hair was falling out. It's the Hulkster. It's Hulk Hogan. Here he is. Let's reveal his face. There he is. Yeah, that's when he had the dyed beard part. Very strange. Yeah, it's gross, right? It's this is like late night. I'm not a wrestling guy. I don't know much about wrestling, but I do know Terry Bollea. Yes, I do. Yes, I don't know much about wrestling, but I do remember that he like switched wrestling organizations, and he had this like real scumbag look when he did it. It was like real nasty looking. All right. Here comes question number 4. Name this human actor in the Muppet movie, the original Muppet movie.
I mean, I'm a guy who dyed his hair for 15 years, and I found that Hulk Hogan repulsive.
Yeah, it's
and there were many phases of my dyed hair, I can tell you that.
Did you ever think of going full Hulkster there in the late 90s when he was in his WCW NWA days? Were you ever inspired?
No, I was very happy to maintain my Richard Bay look at the time.
Well, I mean, you're not a beard guy. You're not.
No, but I mean, my hair would get a little funky every once in a while. I look like Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat until I just decided to give it up.
Yeah, when it was growing out, I remember.
It started, nasty.
Very
clown.
Some weird colors came out.
I should have just buzzed it. That was really bad.
All right, so this was proved a little tougher, but a bunch of teams got it. Hopefully that you can see him now. That's Steve Martin. Steve Martin is your answer. He played. It's like his 3rd film credit. He was in the Muppet movie. He was in a Weird Sgt. Pepper's movie with the Bee Gees and one other movie before that.
The Jerk.
What's that?
The Jerk. The Jerk.
No, Jerk is after this. Jerk is like 2 years after the Muppet movie. Yeah. This is only like his 3rd movie.
I actually got this answer right on the body language of Steve Martin.
You can kind of tell. All right, so here comes your next one. Question number 5. It's multiple choice. Name this human actor in The Muppets, the 2011 movie that was just called The Muppets. Is it Dave Grohl, Eminem, David Bowie, or Justin Timberlake?
Ooh.
This one you kind of got to know because I left no features here. I really like this one. The 2011 movie written by and starring Jason Segel, which also won an Academy Award for Brett McKenzie from Flight of the Conchords. All right, so this one, most teams got this. I did post a clue about it today, so maybe that led you to it, or you remember. This is it's Grohl. Dave Grohl is your answer. He's playing Animal, the fake version of Animal from the Muppets, a Muppets ripoff band that Fozzie finds himself in. Yes, and it's Man or Muppet, which is a terrific song, Academy Award-winning song. All right, here comes your next one. Name this actor, this human actor in Muppets Most Wanted. Is that Molly Shannon, Kristen Wiig, Amy Poehler, or Tina Fey? Which SNL alum?
Ooh. I did well on the body language for Steve Martin, and that formula has failed me ever since.
Well, you can go face shape too. You can go like
you can do that.
There's face shape, there's hair, there's tells here. There's tells.
The face shape is more BB Newirth actually in this one, so not one of the possible answers.
All right, so this one again, teams are tearing this up. Everyone's doing well. This is Tina. It's Tina Fey. She is in Muppets Most Wanted as she's like the warden at a gulag where Kermit ends up because he's mixed up. He looks like this other guy, this thief, this jewel thief over here. Looks like Kermit, but with a little mole. All right, 2 more questions left in this picture round. Name this human actor who's in the Muppet movie. This was a little harder, maybe. I left a piece on the face. And I am going to start the timer now. Yeah, Muppets Most Wanted was pure chaos. It didn't have Jason Segel. Jason Segel didn't write it. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't see it in theaters, which I was kind of surprised that I didn't, because I saw the Muppet. I love the Muppets, and I saw the 2011 one in the theaters and loved it. But I did not see the follow-up.
Didn't Jason Segel say in an interview once that he absolutely loved the Muppets when he was growing up?
Oh yeah, and you could tell from that movie. It's like he really truly loves all those characters. So this one, hopefully you could kind of guess the era. You got a mustache, and you can see also from the hand, it's a black actor. It is Richard Pryor. It's Richard Pryor is the answer. Only 45% of teams got that one right. 45% of teams. That was a tricky one, probably the hardest one in this round. And here is your last one. Oh, there's Pryor there. There's the reveal. And one last one. Name the human actor with these Muppets. I'm not telling you the movie for this one because it would probably give it, once again, like Michael Caine, probably give it away.
I think you used the pencil tool too well, actually.
Well, this one, it's more about. This one's more about like you got to kind of just know the Muppet movies.
Yeah.
And hopefully you got a pirate, you got pirate costumes here, pirate settings. Really, there's a couple Muppets here. Sweetums is in the background there. This one is from Muppet Treasure Island, and that's Tim Curry. Tim Curry is your answer. 70% of teams got that right. All right, before we do your scores and standings, let's do your lightning round. Lightning round is a quick way to make 4 points. It's just one question. It's really a lightning half round, really. I'm going to ask you a question that has 4 correct answers. Any one of them that you get right, you will get a point for, and you do not have to put them in the correct order. So we've talked about our long-running series so far have been James Bond and the Muppets, and now for your lightning round, we're going to be talking about the Fast and the Furious series. Fast and the Furious series is your lightning round focus tonight, and here we go. In 2023, Fast X, I don't even know how the hell you say it, Fast 10, Fast X will hit theaters. It's the 11th overall entry into the Fast and Furious series, counting the spinoff, and the 5th movie that does not contain both words Fast and Furious. Name the other 4. So there's 4 other movies that do not say Fast and Furious, or do not have both words. Okay. What are those 4 movies that do not have both words Fast and Furious in them? It doesn't have to be Fast and Furious, although I guess they usually do. If they're both in the title, it does say Fast and Furious. All right. Think about it. Give you some time, and I will start the timer now.
I still want to cheat on IMDb right now. But
and we're talking feature films here, guys.
Right
feature films, no shorts, and no feature films, and no Better Luck Tomorrow. All right, I'm just double checking these to make sure that nothing slipped through the cracks. If anything slipped through the cracks and you think you should get your points, please let me know. But okay, so this was tricky because a lot of teams thought a lot of teams put Hobbs and Shaw, but that movie is actually called Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw. So Fast and Furious is in the title of that movie. The other 4 that do not have both words are Fast 5, which most teams got, Fate of the Furious, which is clever because it's like F8, but it's Fate, the Furious 7, and the most recent one, F9. F9 is the last movie, and it's just F9. They're just running out of ideas for how to name these movies. All right, so let's take a look. That was a tricky one. There's plenty of different, there's 2 more series coming. So hopefully one will be in your wheelhouse. Let's take a look at your scores and standings here. We got Kathleen Turner Overdrive and the producers with 7, the Turds with 11, the Ringwoodians with 11, with 12 apiece. We got Sylvester Stallone and the Club Sandwiches with 13. We got On Wednesdays We Wear Pink. Team Nerds with 14. Avis and Bobo with 15. Nuanced Neurons, We Own the City, Sterling Cooper, Marley's Chains, and Torshawn Ailment with 16. With 17 points apiece, we got the Blue Shells. Tied for second with 18, we got Here We Come and How Am I Going to Be an Optimist? And all by themselves in first place, Beers for Fears. Nicely done. Very, very good. Nice job. Was that one that one was proved tricky for you? That
was 4 swings and misses. I actually had Fast 5 on my mind after the time ran out. I just want to say that I'm in last place only because I'm here as the guest. Otherwise, clearly I would be right up there with you.
If you could focus. But wait, you already said that when you're distracted, you play better, though. You are. So I mean,
throw that right out with going with the body shape
and try to get
who are blanked out. I am running out of bullshit. I got to tell you. So.
All right. All right. You get some wiggle room. You get wiggle room as
all right.
As guests. All right. So your third round is going to be your puzzle round, and we're focusing on the Wizarding World, which is not an endorsement of J.K. Rowling or anything she believes or espouses. We're just talking about the hell with her. But what she created, we're talking about here. Yeah, okay. I'll cancel myself for just mentioning J.K. Rowling. She's terrible, so that's fair. All right. So this round is called Harry Potter Off by One Letter. So what you're gonna do is you're you're going to add a letter to a Wizarding World name or piece of terminology, something from there are 11 movies in the expanded Wizarding World. So you'll add an extra letter. So here is an example for 0 points, just to get you on the right foot. The boy who lived gets himself wrapped up in planning a nefarious conspiracy, right? So the boy who lived is Harry Potter. Add a letter somewhere into Harry Potter and find yourself the answer. Okay. So this is worth 0 points. So if you want to type it, go for it to feel good about yourself and keep your fingers limber, but otherwise don't sweat it. And yeah, put the full name. Yes. Very good. Someone changed the word, but I mean, honestly, that would be fine too. All right. 13 teams submitted for 0 points. They all got it right, which means nothing. But they all knew that it's Harry Plotter. So he's plotting a conspiracy. It's Harry Plotter. Add a letter to something, suss out the clue, see what Harry Potter thing or Wizarding World. It could be from the other movies. And then add a letter. All right. Now
I feel better about myself. I do.
Yeah.
I feel better about it. You said it would, and I did. I got it right.
So you got that one for no points.
For no points.
Right.
I feel
so better. Now this counts for real, though. This counts for real.
Damn it.
One of Harry's two best friends gets sucked into an early 80s video game world alongside Jeff Bridges. One of Harry's two best friends gets sucked into a video game world alongside. All right. And if we're talking about, yeah, that's fine. Give me the, change it and put the last name, please. Change it and put the last name. Not just this person's first name. You can resubmit it. All right. So this one, we're talking one of his two best friends. We're talking about Ron Weasley. And if the video game world that we're talking about is the 1982 film Tron, so you add a letter, you add a T, and you get Tron Weasley. Tron Weasley. I accepted Tron, but from here on, if it's like a name, go for the full name. To show the knowledge, to show the trivia knowledge, not just Ron to Tron, because that you could have gotten Tron on your own, but I gave you the point for Tron. But from here on, I'm going to be a little stricter. All right, here comes question number 2. Before becoming Lord Voldemort, this Slytherin student loved to whip up hotcakes on his flat pan. Before becoming Lord Voldemort, this Slytherin student loved to whip up hotcakes on his flat pan. Yes, she who must not be named. She should be referred to like that. Also, if little caveat for me here, Harry Potter is not my strong suit. So if I get something slightly factually wrong, you could tell me. Just be cool about it. I remember I hosted a Harry Potter I hosted a Harry Potter dedicated trivia night in person once, and I asked a question. It was a question I didn't write, but it had like some wiggle room in it, and I asked it, and the whole bar turned their heads at once and yelled at me. They were like, it was something about the defense of the dark against the dark arts, and they were like, what year was it? And I was like, I don't know, guys, chill out. Relax. All right, so this character we're talking about is Tom Riddle. Tom Riddle is who becomes Voldemort, and he loves to cook up some hotcakes on his Tom Griddle. Tom Griddle is your answer. All right, question number 3. If you're a non-magical person, you may need someone to sneak you in if you ever want to see Hogwarts. If you are a non-magical person, you may need someone to sneak you in if you ever want to see the inside of Hogwarts. Dad, I know I feel bad about, because I know Harry Potter is not my jam. I know it's certainly not yours.
Well, I remember going with you to see the first Harry Potter in, what was that, 2001? Like that?
2001, yeah.
2001. And I've seen a couple of them since, and the one with Sirius Black with Gary Oldman.
Well, that's the thing. I was older, so I was already in high school when the books came out. So I didn't read them. I didn't grow up with them. And then I saw that, but I was like, oh, I'll go see the movie. And then those first two movies suck. Those first two movies are so lame. So I was like, I'm not gonna bother with the third one. But then the third one is awesome. The third one is like so good, and I think it's probably the best of most of them. So,
but don't you live in a Harry Potter household, though? Aren't you in a Harry Potter?
Alex and Desmond are actually reading it for their bedtimes. Desmond and I are reading. We do chapter books each when we alternate bedtimes. He and I are doing Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator, which is way more episodic than I remember it being. Because I remember because there have been two versions of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but no Great Glass Elevator. And I'm like, why? Why haven't they done that? Now reading it and for the first time since I was a kid, I'm like, oh yeah, because it's like there's not a lot. It's like very scattered. All right, so a non-magical person is a Muggle, and they add a letter, and it's Smuggle. All right, here we go. Avis and Bobo, you're talking about Great Glass Elevator because it's so weird. My son's enjoying it. We're having fun reading it together, but it's more about the act of reading it together and just kind of enjoying the characters. It's like when you watch a sequel and you like being with these characters again, but the plot's not exactly great. All right. In a prequel film, Newt Scamander tells you how to look for all the best vendors of amazing chicken parts. In a prequel film, Newt Scamander tells you how to look for all the best vendors of amazing chicken parts. I'll tell you this because I've got no answers in yet. I'm looking. The puzzle is a play on the name of the film.
Chris, maybe my giant Shrek head that I ordered will come during this round.
That would be
definitely be free to go at that point.
What a blessing. That would be
all the Harry Potter. I have to come up with some sort of shtick for, if I'm going to fill in for Yoni during this and make the pitch for tips on Venmo.
Yeah. Speaking of which, yeah, you are doing it now. Let's just do it. Let's just do it now. This game is totally free to play, but we do rely on your tips. So give whatever you can, if you can, couple bucks per game, whatever. It helps fuel the fire for me to do trivia every Wednesday night. There's you can tip by credit card, Venmo, however you like it. Yeah. Say donkey. You gotta request from the chat to say donkey.
Okay, I'll do my best, Yoni. I will not be doing my donkey. That's it.
There you go.
What I do have down here in this den is a giant giraffe that now belongs to Desi. So that's the best I can do if that Shrek head does not arrive.
Well, there you go. All right. So this one, the movie is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. And I'm looking for. I made this about chicken so as not to get canceled again. It's Fantastic Breasts and Where to Find Them. Fantastic Breasts and Where to Find Them. Alex, your daughter-in-law gives you a B+ for a B+ donkey.
That was not bad. But it's two levels though. I'm doing Yoni, who's doing Shrek. So.
Right. It's it's meta. It's a meta commentary. All right. Question number 5. Voldemort hid pieces of his soul in various objects, including his diary, his Snake Nagini, and even the God of Thunder. I think if you know Harry Potter, this one's super easy, but if you don't, it might be not. I have not seen. I feel like I've tried to watch the Fantastic Breasts movie, the Fantastic Beasts movie. They're not. I don't know. It doesn't really do much for me. Like I can get into the Harry Potter ones beyond the first two. Those first two are brutal. First, the kids are terrible. All those kids went on to become very good actors, but they're 11 and 12, and they're just bad. And it's so scattershot. It was like Chris Columbus. Ron was always good. I don't know. Okay, we'll see. I don't know. But also it felt like in those first two, they were just like, we have to get everything from the books onto the screen, otherwise people will freak out. And then after that, they figured out that they could actually, adapt the book into a film. All right, so your answer to this one, it's Horcruxes are a Horcrux is the thing that Voldemort hides his soul in, including Harry himself, and Thorcrux is what we're looking for. Thorcrux. All right, we got 3 more questions left. All right, the mountains and desert that form the edges of a southwestern U.S. capital provide a base of operations for this Voldemort fighting secret, that should say, pardon the typo, Voldemort fighting secret organization. The mountains and desert that form the edges of a southwestern U.S. capital provide a base of operations for this Voldemort fighting secret organization. So we got some talk in the chat about Ron and Draco. Tom Felton. Always being good. I don't know. I don't know if all these, and Rupert Grint. Yeah, I don't know if I agree. I might have to respectfully disagree that these guys were always good. All right. So for this one proved a little tougher. So the organization is called the Order of the Phoenix. But around the edges of a southwestern capital like Phoenix, Arizona, that would be the Border of the Phoenix. Border of the Phoenix. Yeah, I love roasting children. Hey, look, these kids got paid, man. They are up. They are the Rupert Grint and Daniel Radcliffe. All they got paid handsomely for those roles. I can roast them however I want. All right, and 2 questions left in this round. All right, Dumbledore is 100% in favor of his preferred method of public transit, forgoing trains and ferries. Dumbledore is 100% in favor of his preferred method of public transit, forgoing trains and ferries. And I'll give you one clue on this one. Adding a letter can split one word or name into 2 words. All right, starting the timer.
By the way, Chris, FedEx did just come, but they accidentally brought an Olaf outfit.
Oh,
me.
no.
It's the
No,
Peony,
your whole
and
thing
instead
is
of
ruined.
Shrek, so it's completely shot, but it
You are
is.
so-
their computer algorithm must have gotten screwed up, and it just said Yoni, and it went for the Olaf. You know, so
it had it. They just got it messed up.
I've got one question left to write a whole bit about Olaf being a QAnon right-wing candidate.
Yeah, you got get cracking.
You know,
Yeah.
I know. I
there is an Easter Bunny costume in your house. That's true. That's a very, very inside baseball joke from my family. All right. So this one, Dumbledore's first name is Albus. You add an L to it, and he is Albus. He is Albus Dumbledore. And one last question. Thankfully, for those of you who do not enjoy Harry Potter or know it, the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, played by Brendan Gleeson, finds himself with a new nickname after getting a fermented honey beverage in his ocular cavity. All right, the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, played by Brendan Gleeson, finds himself with a new nickname after getting fermented honey beverage in his ocular cavity. Ryan's booing that answer. I teed it up for you, though. I tried to steer you in the right direction. If it's a Bobo agrees with the booing, fair enough. All right. So this one, that character is called Mad Eye Moody. And add an E, throw an E in Mad, and you got Mead Eye Moody. Mead Eye Moody. All right, so let's take a look before we head into your final regular round. Let's take a look at your scores and standings. All right, let's start. Let's because it's getting late, we'll start with the 22s. We got Sterling Cooper, Roland Deli Betts, and Marley's Chains with 22. We Own the City with 23. The Blue Chills and Torshawn Ailment with 24 apiece. Here we come in third place with 25. How am I going to be an optimist? In second with 26. And Beers for Fears holding on to that first place spot with 27 points. But it's going to come down to there's a final regular round that's worth twice the points and a post-credits blitz coming up. And this next round, this double points round, is going to come down to how much you know about Star Trek. Star Trek is our final franchise. The Star Trek film franchise. We're not talking about any of the TV shows directly. We're talking about the 13 films that have been made, boldly going where two people have gone before. This is all Star Trek duos and pairs. So each one of these questions will have two answers. Each one is worth a full point each. So you don't have to put them in order. You don't have to get both. Each one that you get right will get you a point. All right. So here we go. Dad, this is much more in your wheelhouse.
Yes,
right?
absolutely. Going back to the TV show, but that would be the first bunch of movies, basically.
Yeah. All right. So have you kept up? I mean, I know you and I saw the first.
Yeah.
Well, don't say any actor names because
right.
All right.
We'll see how I do.
All right. So we're going to start. I know Star Trek can be tough. So we're going to start off with a couple easy ones. The two main captains for character names in charge of the USS Enterprise across 13 movies. So there's two captain characters. This is super easy. Don't overthink it. I'm going to start the timer as well. I know Star Trek. I guess I went kind of deep on Harry Potter, but I know Star Trek. So here's the thing. I know Star Trek, and I could go deep and nerdy and do a little bit later in the round. So I wanted to start off a little easier. I didn't want to scare anybody completely away or dissuade them completely. All right, let me just, I'm just regrading a couple of these that should get points. Because some of them, there's plenty of ways to write these two characters' names that I didn't account for. All right. Why is this not regrading this? There we go.
Did you not want the first names?
No, I it should be either way, but I think like I didn't program it for like Captain James T. Kirk.
Okay.
I did it as like James T. Kirk and Jean-Luc Picard are your two. Picard is Ryan's captain. I like Picard, but his movies, Picard's show is what I grew up on, but and I like the next gen movies, but they're not as good as the original cast movies. All right.
You know, Chris, that answer made me very happy, except it proved to me that the three teens behind me stopped playing about 30 minutes ago. It gives with one hand and it takes away with the other.
Bittersweet. All right. Question number 2. The pair of actors. I'm still easing into this Star Trek round. Pair of actors who have played Captain James T. Kirk. Who are the two actors who have played Kirk? Did Desmond make you watch any of these on any like sleepovers? My son is obsessed with Star Trek.
Yeah, we definitely watched some Star Trek. There's no doubt, but nothing can compete with the Octonauts and Puff and Rock, though.
Yeah, no, I gotta get him back on track with Trek. All right, so this one again should be pretty easy. Should be pretty high percentages here, 80 and 75. William Shatner, of course. It's only 80% because there's a couple of teams that Dad, you're smoking those teams that are not playing. You're absolutely.
Yeah, I got them beat.
And Chris Pine. Chris Pine is the new one. He's not that new anymore. That was 13 years ago. All right. Question number 3. The two Trek villains. One is an individual, one character, and one is a species who debuted on TV and made the jump to the big screen, antagonizing Kirk and Picard respectively in the 2nd and 8th entries into the franchise. So these are villains that started on the original series and Next Generation and then graduated to the big screen in the 2nd and 8th installments. One's a person, one is a species.
I think I'm acing Star Trek, so F Harry Potter. So
that's fine. That's why, well, that's kind of what I was kind of excited about this game tonight, because it's like all these little pockets of nerddom and knowledge. So like, it's like a buffet. It's like a buffet game tonight. You don't know Harry Potter, you'll get Star Trek after. All right. So this one, what we're talking about is Star Trek 2 is the Wrath of Khan. And in Star Trek First Contact, they bring back the Borg before they just endlessly hammer the Borg in every subsequent Star Trek thing. All these new Star Trek things on Paramount Plus, they will not stop with the Borg. It's exhausting. All right. This is a particularly nerdy game. Yeah, it is it's a deep dive on some topics. All right, question number 4. The pair of actors who have played the genetically enhanced supervillain Khan on the big screen. So we're just talking about Khan. 2 actors have played Khan on the big screen. Who are they? Remember, you don't have to get them both right. You get a point for either one. And spelling does not count. Don't sweat the spelling. All right. Just regrading a couple of these because there's some Like I said, spelling doesn't count, but that does mean I have to regrade it. As long as I know who you're talking about, shows that you know that I know that you know. All right. So in the original, in Space Seed was the episode in the original series. Ricardo Montalban played Khan, and Benedict Cumberbatch. Oh, you forgot Cumberbatch, Dad?
Yeah, I forgot Cumberbatch. Yeah.
In the newest star, not newest. It's not still not the newest. I'm not going to say it because it might come up. Don't say it in the
okay.
all right. Question number 5. 2 actors who both played first officers on the original series and the Next Generation, who got behind the camera to direct 2 Star Trek feature films each. So each of these actors both played first officers on their respective shows, and they both directed 2 Star Trek movies. Each one of them directed 1 great Star Trek movie and 1 so-so.
You know, with Montalban, you could have used him in another long-running series, a Naked Gun, or does that fall short because there's only 3?
That's only 3. Yeah, these are all 9. These tonight it's all 9 and above. But Ricardo Montalban is also in Planet of the Apes. He's in Planet of the Apes 3 and 4.
Wow.
Which there's reboots and stuff, so it doesn't really count. It's not the same continuity, but there are 9 of those, and they're coming out with another one of them. All right, so this one was tricky. Shatner did direct 1 Star Trek movie, a shitty one. He directed Star Trek: The Final Frontier, but directing Star Trek 3 and 4, and also is Leonard Nimoy, Spock himself, and directing Star Trek First Contact, the Borg movie, and Star Trek Insurrection, which stinks. Jonathan Frakes, a.k.a. Commander William Riker. All right, 35% on Frakes, 65 on Nimoy. See, this is where we're getting into the this is why I put front-loaded some easy ones in the Trek category here. All right, in Star Trek 4. The names of the humpback whales retrieved by a time-traveling Enterprise crew in the Nimoy-directed Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home. Hint, they are named after a married comedy duo, an old-time married comedy duo, and it's the first names of the comedy duo.
That's a great hint.
Yeah, I'm seeing guesses that I didn't think would come in, but they're good. They're incorrect, but they're good guesses based on so now time's up. What did you put, Ted? What did you guess for the married?
Gracie.
George Burns and Gracie Allen is correct. George and Gracie are the names of the this was tough. This is easily the hardest question of tonight's quiz. George and Gracie are the two whales in the movie who they bring to the future. Question number 7. So each of these answers will just be a single letter. So you got a 1 in 26 shot and another 1 in 26 shot. Single letter model designation of the pair of Enterprise ships captained by Jean-Luc Picard in the 4 Next Generation films. So just put a letter. If you don't know, guess a letter. You all know the alphabet. You can guess it. See, again, this is why I wanted to make some of the earlier ones gettable, because it's hard. I went hard on I'll ease at I'm ending on an easier one for this round though. Don't sweat it. You want a point for Abbott and Costello, who were married in a secret ceremony long before it was recognized by the state. A fair amount of teams got this. This is definitely hard. Definitely one of the harder ones. You got to be kind of a Trek nerd. Not a deep nerd on this one. But it's the Enterprise D and the Enterprise E. The Enterprise D gets destroyed in Star Trek Generations, and then they bring in the Enterprise E. All right, I'm gonna move on because I'm feeling feeling intensely nerdy. So this one should be easier. This is your last regular question. The subtitles that follow Star Trek in the second and third movies starring Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto. So it's Star Trek blank. What are those blanks? You can write the whole thing, or you could just give me the subtitles. One of these is up there as one of my absolute favorites. And this is why I didn't want to say the Cumberbatch. I almost let it slip. I almost said the name of the movie with Cumberbatch, but because that's one of these. That movie was Into Darkness, Star Trek Into Darkness, and the last one, which is one of my favorites. It's a really underrated in the Star Trek canon. Star Trek Beyond. Star Trek Beyond is to date the last Star Trek movie. All right, so we've got a post-credits blitz coming up that's worth 6 points. It's your last set of points for the night. So let's take a look at your scores as we head into that. Let's start with 5th place. We got Nuanced Neurons and How Am I Going to Be an Optimist with 36 points apiece. Beers for Fears and Marley's Chains tied for 3rd with 37 points apiece. The Blue Shells jumping into second place with 38 and jumping into back into first place with 40 points. The Torsion Ailments. So, but it's up for grabs because there are 6 points in this final blitz here. So what's going to happen is I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and each of those questions has 2 correct answers and 1 incorrect answer. That's a fake out. So each correct answer is worth 1 point apiece. So if you get both of them right, you get 2 points. But if you pick the incorrect one, you get 0 points. It wipes you out to 0. So if you know one for sure and you want to just bank it, click that one, hit submit, collect your 1 point, move on. All right. So we're going to ask, I'm going to ask you 3 of these here. So click wisely, select wisely. Don't guess unless you're feeling risky about it. We're going to talk about cross-pollination of these franchises in these last 3 questions. Here comes your blitz. Question number 1. Which 2 long-running franchises from tonight's game have had entries directed by Justin Lin? 2 of these franchises tonight have had at least 1 movie directed by Justin Lin. Fast and the Furious, James Bond, Star Trek. Those are your options. Pick the 2 that have had an entry or more directed by Justin Lin. Or pick 1 if you know it. Collect your point.
Can we still keep on doing Star Trek? I guess we can. I just Star Trek and James Bond. Just do those 2.
Bond Trek. All right. So Justin Lin has directed like the vast majority of the Fast and the Furious franchise, and he also did the aforementioned Star Trek Beyond, one of my absolute favorites. So Fast and Furious and Star Trek are your 2 answers for that one. All right, your second post-credits bonus blitz. This pair of actors have played James Bond's nemesis, Ernst Stavro Blofeld, and made cameos in the Muppet movie, one of them in the Muppet movie, one of them in Muppets Most Wanted. Your options are Christoph Waltz, Telly Savalas, and Donald Pleasance. All 3 have played Ernst Stavro Blofeld. Which 2 of them have been in Muppet movies? This one's looking trickier. So hopefully it looks like people reasoned out, Muppets Most Wanted is the most recent Muppets movie. So Christoph Waltz, is one of them. But in the very first movie, in the Muppet movie, is Kojak himself, Telly Savalas. Telly Savalas is your answer. Donald Pleasance. Never in a Muppet movie. No, he was not in any Muppet movies to date, and he probably won't be because he died about 25 years ago. And your final question of the night, your last post-credits bonus blitz question. Ralph Fiennes famously embodied both Lord Voldemort and 007's boss M. Which other two actors have appeared in multiple entries in both the Harry Potter and James Bond franchise? They've been in multiple entries into both of those franchises. Your options are Dame Judi Dench, John Cleese, and Robbie Coltrane. John Cleese is another one that you can't, just screwed up his legacy by being a intolerant ass. All right. This one looks like I saved this for last. I thought it might be harder, but most teams got it right. John Cleese played the replacement Q in the last two Pierce Brosnan movies, and Robbie Coltrane was also in Pierce Brosnan movies, and he's Hagrid. Judi Dench never in a Harry Potter movie. I would have thought she might have been in one. You might think she might have been in one, but she was never in one. All right, so let's take a look at your final standings for the night. Start from the bottom. We got Kathleen Turner, Overdrive with 7, Turds with 13, Producers with 20, Club Sandwiches with 24. On Wednesdays, we were Pink 26, Ringwoodians 28, Stallone 30, Here We Come 36, Sterling Cooper 36, We Own This City 38, Team Nerds 38, Avis and Bobo 38, Marley's Chains 41, Nuanced Neurons, How Am I Going to Be an Optimist, and the Blue Shells all tied for third place with 42. Just ahead of them with 43 is Beers for Fears, and holding on to their lead, surviving the post-credits blitz, is with 45 points, Torshawn Ailment. So nicely done. Great game, everybody. Dad, I know that was rough at times for you. You're by yourself, and you're on the show. So thank you.
I had Harry Potter questions. Let's face it, Chris.
Brutal, yeah.
It was brutal Harry Potter. And I'm waiting for the delivery of the Yoni related materials.
You gotta put in a claim with Amazon, because they'll just send you a new one.
It's really, well, you'll have Yoni back, so you'll have the real thing. So
yeah. Thank you, Dad. This was. I hope you had fun being on. And listen to my dad's podcast. It's called Hot Media. It's a lot of fun. It's also serious too. It's not just fun.
Well, that may be the problem with it. It's fun some weeks and serious others. It's everything about media. So if you're into it, please listen and subscribe. That'd be great.
But once that Shrek head finally shows up, it's going to be a lot more lighthearted.
Yeah, no more talk about coverage of the Ukraine war once the Shrek head.
You should interview that Ukrainian journalist who's fighting on the front lines while wearing a Shrek head. Yes, right. Hot Media is definitely worth the listen. So everybody, subscribe to that. Thank you to my dad for jumping in at the last minute just for fun. And thank you to everybody for being here tonight, kicking off season 9. Come back next week. We will be doing space movies is going to be your theme next week. No Star Trek, no Star Wars though. They will be avoided. No more Trek for the rest of the season. I promise. All right. So have fun, stay safe, watch some movies, and I will see you back here at 9:00 next Wednesday night for more movies. Also check my Instagram for standings tomorrow or Friday. Have a great night, everybody. McClunky.
Thanks,